Okay team, let's get ready for a take. Positions everybody. Quiet please. Cameras ready.
Okay.
Lighting ready.
Okay.
Sound on.
Okay.
And roll them. Newton Prior Station is closed and silent. It is rarely used today. It's situated on the main line between London and Dover, and used to handle both goods and passenger trains. However, on its 100th birthday, it was alive and well. Famous locomotives and trains took part in a festival gala. It's early morning at Newton Prior. The tracks are clear, although there are a few signals and a bell heralding some arrivals. The first train of the day is a humble goods train on the far track, hauled by a Great Western Railway tank engine. These locos were widely used for both goods and local passenger trains. These trains carried a mixture of all sorts in their cargoes, and as it disappears into the tunnel on its way down the branch line, one can see some steel pipes, the last wagon before the guards van. At one end of the station is the typical footbridge linking the two main platforms. Some early morning passengers wait patiently close to the bookstall on the opposite platform. The bookstall is such an important part on any station, and run by that well-known company. Another Great Western tank engine arrives on the branch line with a local passenger train. But here comes the first big train of the day, the Coronation Scot, hauled by the magnificent loco designed by Sir William Stanier, Coronation, a wonderful sight for all train enthusiasts. Meanwhile, the Great Western Railway tank engine departs after its stop at Newton Prior with its passenger train. Next on this special gala programme is the famous Golden Arrow, pulled by one of the southern region's streamlined locomotives. It really does make a wonderful sight, roaring through Newton Prior, with the Golden Arrow headboard and the flags of both France and the UK just below it. Now coming through on the main line is the beautifully restored 1900s locomotive known as the D-Type, designed by Mr. Wainwright for the South East Coast Railway, and hauling coaches from that era. Next up is the first foreign visitor to the gala, a powerful German express locomotive hauling the famous Orient Express. As it hurries by, we get a chance to see one of the wagon-lit coaches that go to make up this train that travels right across Europe to Istanbul. And then the lovely D-Type pulls away, sounding crisp and workmanlike with its little carriages. This loco is on loan from the National Railway Museum and reminds everyone of how things used to be in 1900. When built, and in their distinctive colouring, painstakingly applied by hand, they were considered to be one of the most attractive locos of the day. They were very reliable, fast, and a great favourite with their crews, and the public loved the beautifully painted locos, and great care was taken to keep them spotlessly clean. This is the only one of its class to have survived, and only comes out on very special gala occasions like Newton Prior's celebration. A short break between trains enables us to see more of Newton Prior. Here's a view looking down on the roof, and a business-type gent waiting for a train. A bell heralds the arrival of another train, and as the loco lets off steam in the distance, a porter crosses the footbridge laden with the passengers' luggage. But the sound of an approaching express makes us look up, and, bursting out of the tunnel, comes one of Sir Nigel Gresley's streamlined masterpieces. This is the A4 Pacific named Dominion of Canada, and she's hauling the famous Flying Scotsman train with coaches that have a beautiful teak finish. The locomotive's distinctive streamlined shape and blue colouring with red wheels, they were capable of running at 100 miles an hour for long periods. Named after the dominions of the British Empire, this loco also carries the Canadian coat of arms beneath its number plate on the cab. As Dominion of Canada races through Newton Pryor, we can appreciate the flowing lines of the locomotive. Passing the Newton Pryor signal box, even the signal box man cannot resist coming out and waving as it races by. We resort to a slower pace as another Great Western Railway tank engine arrives with a stopping train. The driver has a chat with some people on the platform before the train pulls away to go to its next stop. Hello, something must be wrong, as Coronation, hauling the Coronation Scot, slowly arrives at the station. Perhaps the line ahead isn't quite clear. As Coronation's safety valves lift, we can take a good look at this blue and silver locomotive and train. Given the number 6220, this loco was the first of its class and named after the coronation of King George VI and Queen Elizabeth, and had a silver crown immediately above the nameplate. Now given the all clear, Coronation pulls away to take the Coronation Scot on its way. Now bursting out of the tunnel, a Southern Railway Schools class locomotive arrives, hauling an all-green Southern Railway train bound for London, and is really going well as it enters the station. Roaring through Newton Pryor with smoke streaming from its chimney, it makes a wonderful sight, and in no time at all reaches the tunnel at the northernmost end of Newton Pryor. These locomotives were specially designed for fast passenger trains linking London to the south, on lines not suited to larger locomotives. When introduced, they were the most powerful of their type in the world. Named after famous schools in the UK, they were very popular with crews and public alike. This one is numbered 931 and has the name King's Wimbledon, a boys' school of considerable standing in South London. Number 931 disappears into the tunnel on its way to London. Next on the programme is an LMS Royal Mail coach, specially designed to pick up a large bag of mail at speed. Inside was a travelling sorting office where special operatives sorted thousands of letters ready for distribution when the train arrived in Edinburgh, London or other major cities. The D-type returns again, but the driver is looking out at a train coming through Newton Pryor in the opposite direction. For the locomotive is a diesel, the future of the railways, and heralds the end of steam locomotives. This is the Midland Pullman, recently introduced and operated by the LMS between London and Manchester, heralding a new phase in passenger trains. No wonder the driver looks worried. He's happy driving a steam locomotive, but would not fancy driving a diesel one like that. The Midland Pullman locomotive carries a distinctive crest on its front and makes an impressive sight as it passes through. Another goods train lumbers down the branch line with the Great Western Railway tank engine in charge, hauling trucks carrying a variety of goods, including some more steel pipes. The Golden Arrow returns, but is slowing as it enters Newton Pryor. There must be a lot of congestion on the track ahead, As the Golden Arrow waits in the station, the safety valves lift. However, this does give us an ideal opportunity to have a close look at one of the Pullman coaches. They are all given female names, and this one, as you can see, is named Jane. Inside, every table has its own lamp, and comfort and service is really top class. The loco is one of the Battle of Britain class. Each one was named after RAF airfields or personnel. This is Biggin Hill. You can see the RAF wings and plaque underneath the name. Receiving the all clear, the Golden Arrow moves off, with the flags proudly flying at the front. The Great Western Railway sent not one but two of their rail cars to the gala. Here one is being admired by a couple of young ladies whilst waiting at the station. And now the rail car, getting the all clear signal, leaves Newton Pyre on its way to the branch line, which serves various outlying villages. And now bursting out of the tunnel is a very special visitor, an American Express locomotive known as a Hudson. These powerful locomotives haul the famous train the 20th Century Limited between New York and Chicago, covering the 960 miles in 16 hours, including stops, and average 60 miles an hour the whole way, often exceeding 100 miles an hour for long stretches. This is one of the Pullman coaches used on that train and is known as a clerestory type. To make up a full train, some restored British coaches are being used, and very smart they look too. The D-type returns, slowing to a stop at Newton Pyre. Just as King's William returned, this time hauling the Orient Express, and races through the station. Once again, the signal box man cannot resist coming out and waving as it passes beneath him before entering the tunnel. Leaving the tunnel at the far end, the Midland Pullman is about to enter Newton Pyre for the last time and to conclude this Centenary Gala. It is fitting that the future style of passenger rail travel is last of a range of locomotives we have seen stretching back over 100 years. After the last train of the day has passed through the station, the staff can relax. The crowds have gone and the platforms are nearly deserted. The bookstall still remains open, but only for a few more minutes. After a day of intense excitement and activity, Newton Pyre's Centenary Celebration Gala comes to a close. The organisers and everyone concerned hopes that you've had a very enjoyable day.